The United States released its 2020 Human Rights Report, which highlighted a deteriorating picture for human rights across the world. U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken said that the trend lines on human rights continue to move in the wrong direction and that some governments had used the coronavirus pandemic as a pretext to restrict rights and consolidate authoritarian rule.
President Biden is committed to putting human rights back at the center of American foreign policy, whether it's China, Russia, or anyone else. We're not standing against any of those countries. We're not trying to, for example, contain China or keep it down. What we are about is standing up for basic principles, basic rights, and a rules-based international order that has served us and countries around the world very, very well.
But as other countries have pointed out before, the United States is hardly perfect. It is currently dealing with systemic racism, both against the African Americans and most recently against Asians. Between 2013 and 2019, 42 out of every 1 million Americans, that is 42 out of every 1 million African Americans, were killed in police shootings. And currently, the trial of George Floyd is underway, a man who was killed after a policeman knelt on his neck for 9 minutes. In 2018, a survey found that 88% of the people stopped by the police in New York City were black or Latin Americans. 70% of them were innocent. In fact, on Monday, a 65-year-old Asian woman was viciously attacked as she walked to her church near New York City's Times Square. A lone attacker kicked her on the stomach and her face and walked away, as at least 2 witnesses failed to act and help the woman. Those visuals shocked America. In a moment of self-awareness, U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken did acknowledge that the U.S. had its own challenges to deal with and admitted that there was a lot of work to do at home. Listen in.
We will hear from some countries, as we do every year, that we have no right to criticize them because we have our own challenges to deal with. Well, we know we have work to do at home. That includes addressing profound inequities, including systemic racism. We don't pretend these problems don't exist or try to sweep them under the rug. We don't ignore them. We deal with them in the daylight with full transparency. And in fact, that's exactly what separates our democracy from autocracies. Our ability and willingness to confront our own shortcomings out in the open, to pursue that more perfect union. And the way we confront our challenges at home will give us greater legitimacy in advocating for human rights abroad. It's what President Biden means when he says we must lead by the power of our example.